What's up, boys? It's the Nostalgic Gaming Channel back at it again with some Age of Mythology nostalgic gaming content. Mission number 17, the Jackal Stronghold. Let's get straight to it.
Is that the place?
Yes, Kemsit's stronghold. The piece is inside. Are the men prepared?
Yes, Amanra.
Good. If Kemsit is there, no one is to touch him but me. The farmers must be weary of their island neighbor. Perhaps they will help us.
So if you remember from the last mission, right, we were about to break up into a party of 3, right? Each of the major heroes, with Ajax and Arkantos teaming up, are taking a separate army to find a different piece of Osiris, so we can collect all 4 of them and reunite them in a big battle to resurrect Osiris. So, I think my favorite part about Amanra, right, and her missions is you really get the sense of, like, you're fighting this overarching enemy, right? And the people are oppressed, right? They're making them dig sand pits, and they're making them work their backs. And Amanra is here to rescue her people. Like, she's the hero that her people need, right? She's uniting them under the common flag and uniting her people. And, like, they'll join up with her because they know that she's, like, the hero of the story here. And although Amanra is not, like, a super... Yeah, she's a main character. But, like, you know, obviously Arkantos and Ajax are, like, kind of the main characters, right? She still gets a lot of good, like, screen time and a lot of good, like, character development. I really enjoy playing her missions in particular, right? I like aligning up the people and teaming up and making this massive army out of these, like, disjointed villagers that are otherwise powerless against Kemsa and, you know, the evil forces. So I always thought that's kind of a cool thing that you could do with Amanra. So the main gimmick on this mission, right, is you have a very, very large area.
Yummy, people of the Nile. I am Amanra, enemy of Kemsit. Assist us, and we will end his pillaging of your lands.
We will help you visit the farmers to spread the good news, Amanra.
Right, you have a very large area with a lot of different, you know, space to build, right? And you're given farms already. If I remember, the gold is kind of scarce in this area, right? And unfortunately, your army can't recruit the other people. It's only Amanra, so I mean that's a little bit annoying. But it's thematically it feels right, as it should be. Like if they see some, if they see some random like camel rider or random like foot soldier or slinger, are you gonna join up with them, or are you gonna see Amanra and be like, all right, like this is our hero here. Like we have that. She probably has that presence. That overwhelming, like, heroic presence when she walks up, right? Because she's one of the main heroes there. So, like I was saying, though, in this mission, the whole gimmick is the land is so large, right? Gold is kind of scarce, but other than that, like, you have plenty of farms, you can fish if you want, and we have to attack that island in the top left of the map, right? 95% of the island is a terrible place to land. And you guys are going to see I made the mistake. I didn't scout properly. And I landed in the wrong place. But, you know, we work through it. We overpower it. We overcome. We succeed. We carpe diem. We took the island anyways. But no spoilers. So scouting to the end there gives you access to a couple towers, which give you really good line of sight. But I don't really recall them attacking me at my main base at all. I mostly recall them, you know, kind of sitting back. They have a large presence in the sea, right? They have myth units, they have boats. So it's dangerous to transport your people across. But once you're able to land them there, like the defenses, they are pretty heavy, but it's workable, right? You'll be able to take them out. But you're really gonna have to build up a large army here, and you're gonna have to build up like a good amount of units and production lines, and you guys are gonna see one of the Nostalgic Gaming channel's favorite tricks when I land over there. I'll point it out when I get to it, but you're gonna see one of my favorite tricks for sure. So obviously this land is heavily guarded by, you know, evil animals, a set, and that's why. Well, that crocodile only attacked my villager. It wasn't trying to attack my main army, and then it got, you know, wrecked by the rest of the army. So even if you could see there's like little green houses, when you have a Monora walk by them, she ends up capturing the houses, or, you know, recruiting the houses for your people here. And forgive me, when I play this, you're gonna see that I'm not playing to the best of my ability. I was playing with like minimal sleep, right? I had not gotten any sleep. So if you see any egregious mistakes or slow play, that's my fault. And make sure you guys get your sleep. And make sure, if you're watching this right now and you don't have a cup of water, or you don't have water in the area, make sure you get some, because hydration is key to your health. Water in here. I just typed into ChatGPT, what are the benefits of drinking water? I'll give you a couple important ones. It keeps your kidneys working properly, right? It reduces the risk of kidney stones, especially if you drink a lot of like energy drinks or whatnot, or if you drink G Fuel and whatnot. Like, you have to be careful because you're not properly replenishing your kidneys and cycling out, filtering out your blood. It also increases your energy levels, because when you're dehydrated, you get fatigued, you're more tired throughout the day, you're not able to exercise properly. It helps your digestive health by making sure that you're able to use the restroom properly in both ways, if you know what I mean. Number one and number two. Makes you think better, and it just makes you a more healthy person overall. So if that hasn't sold you, just drink some water, you know? Make sure you're hydrating. Look at all the water, this beautiful blue water in the ocean out here in the game. You know what? Unlike most of the games that I play on this channel, the water does look very well done, like very well rendered, if that's a proper word, in this game. Like, if you guys watch one of my other videos, The Legend of Alandar, I'm pretty sure that game came out either later or around the same time, and granted, it's on hardware of PS2, right? But man, the water just looks so janky. Like, I feel like I could take a swim in that water, and I would definitely enjoy it. It looks nice. It looks clear. You can see fish, right? Granted, a kraken might grab me, or I might get tossed around by a giant war turtle, or Poseidon might crash a giant wave on me because he's upset. But still, the dangers associated with that water do not outweigh how beautiful it looks. So I made one of these, you know, basic ships. That way I can scout it out. And I'm going to... And there's plenty of relics on this map too. I'll show you some hidden ones that end up being really cool. But there's plenty of relics on this map that if you explore enough, you'll be able to find them. Did I end up capturing the market? Oh no, so I built a market here, right? I jumped the gun a little bit. I built a market there because I like putting the market as far as possible. That way you get increased gold. Now, I don't know what the cost-benefit analysis is of doing it shorter versus longer. I just know that I like that big payoff at the end where you get like 100+ gold from one trip, especially when you do the caravan speed upgrade. And there's one ship that comes into our harbor here, so I start moving my army over for a potential battle, and it just kind of disappears. It's a phantom pirate ship, right? Ooh, spooky pirates, arg! It's like one of those, you know, the Myths of the Ghost ships or the Bermuda Triangle. Hey, I might be going through the Bermuda Triangle here soon. I'm taking a vacation here in the next week or so, and I'm going to be flying out in that area. So if you don't hear anything from the Nostalgic Gaming channel, send help to the Bermuda Triangle, right? Do not allow me to get lost in the Bermuda Triangle. And maybe, who knows, I'll find Atlantis. Maybe I'll be kicking it with Arcantos over there, right? Or with his son, right? Because they're Atlanteans. But if I get lost in the Bermuda Triangle, you send rescue boats over there. All 22 of my subscribers should be looking for me. No, but we're going to end up getting some we're building these monuments because we want to increase our myth favor production. Because in this map, guess what myth units we could end up building? Yeah, if you guessed, those unstoppable flyboys, our beautiful, majestic flying friends, the phoenixes, you are correct. So as you can see over here, there's a couple relics, right? So this is a cool little area here that is hidden. So I'm going to send a Monra over there to make sure that I can grab the relics. I really should send the Pharaoh and a Monra. And you know what doesn't really make sense to me is, I'm sure I've said it before, I don't know why priests can't grab relics. I don't know if it's because they're so easily mass produced and you can make them from the town center and whatnot, but like heroes from the Greeks, if you send like Jason and Achilles and like the other non-major heroes,
Set has sent giant turtles to defend Kemsit Island.
you can end up finding it. You can end up grabbing the relics with those guys too. So, and obviously Set is going to protect, and that area I just found right there actually ends up being the best like landing spot for our ships. So I'm going to take my ship and I'm going to just run away. And I think they'll follow me for a while. Eventually, I think they stop following me. But it doesn't matter because when we get to it, we're going to overwhelm them with massive armies. So now that we have our market, we're going to focus on some economic upgrades, and then we're going to try and upgrade to the next age. And this is the one thing I'm terrible at. I always do not properly use my Pharaoh for like empowering things. I know, at least I believe, and I'm not 100% sure because I heard this from the Giant Grant Games video, right? Because he made a really awesome video on the series, and that's why I ended up wanting to do one too. That if you empower your main base, it doesn't do anything, and it's kind of a bait. Like, everyone thinks like, hey, I'm going to empower my main base because like what else would you empower, and like you usually build farms around it, but it doesn't really do anything for you. I mean, it might speed up like the rate of your villagers being produced, but well, that's a nice little chunk of gold there. And we're going for Thoth, you know it. We can't pick Osiris because we're going to resurrect Osiris eventually, right? So canonically, we shouldn't be picking Osiris. I wonder if the rain from our enemies boosts our farm production as well, because if that's the case, he's really doing me a major favor. So I'm actually running very low on gold in this particular mission, right? I have plenty of farms, I have plenty of wood, I need more gold. So I'm taking my guys, I'm reassigning them to gold, and in all honesty, I would say wood is probably the least important of the three major resources. Obviously not counting favor. I think favor is probably more important than wood even, just because you can make some pretty cool myth units and get some really cool upgrades. But yeah, there's that little secret area that I was talking about with all the relics, right? If you bring a couple heroes over, you'd be able to make a nice little chunk of change. Not that I need it. So I probably should have reassigned all of my villagers at this point to be mining gold, just to get that super increase bonus. That's a little NGC tip for you guys. If you reassign all your villagers to gold while you cast one of those spells, it ends up being a pretty hefty amount of gold you get pretty quickly. Granted, then you're suffering on your other ones, but if it's increased, who knows? I think it's worth it. And as you can see, our Phoenixes even have siege weapon attacks, so they're going to be extra effective against boats and whatnot and buildings. I love hearing that crunch when the Phoenixes are, or when the siege units are attacking the bases. Like, it makes you feel like you're really doing something. Because if I throw a stone against like a stone building, at the end of the day, really, what's it going to do? Like, oh no, I may have chipped the stone a little bit, or you're gonna stab it with a spear, like, you're probably gonna break your spear. I know, like, canonically there's not... Oh, man, he casted Tornado on my ships. But Tornado's like a god level power, like a final power. And to cast it on, like, 3 ships seems to be a mistake. But watch our Phoenixes put in some work here. Stay away from that Tornado, turtle. And we keep getting the battle sound because they're killing our, they killed our towers with that Tornado. And our Phoenixes are mid-battle. So this is going to be my terror squad here. They're going to go out and they're going to demolish everything in the sea, right? The 2 Phoenixes are giving enough damage that they can support the tanky Tortoise. This is the one thing that it's going to take them a minute because the Phoenixes probably will not give as much damage to the Tortoise as they would to a normal ship. And we build a couple catapults because we're starting to get ready towards our final push, right? Little do I know it's not going to be a final push. I was like, oh man, I'm about to win this mission. It's going to be easy, right? I remember this one being easy. Well, my tiredness combined with my rush ended up making it take a little bit longer than it should have. But it's okay. Sometimes war is not about the first battle. Sometimes war is a battle of attrition, right? We have more troops that can last for longer and more resources to produce. So in the end, eventually we will come out on top, right? It's like, recently I've been really getting into like the lore of Warhammer 40k, in case you guys are familiar with that. It's like the Imperium of Man, right? When you send that the human army, the military, and they just send people at you, and that's their strategy, is overwhelming numbers. They have really bad weapons, they have pretty decent tactics, but all they have is overwhelming numbers. That's going to be us right now. We're going to overpower them with our numbers. And we're actually going to upgrade our troops to make them pretty strong boys too. Oh, I lost a Phoenix. Oh no. Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe it's just... They kind of like jank on each other when you're fighting with them. Like they kind of meld into each other. So slingers and axemen, that's how we do it. I'm surprised I haven't taken that other town settlement yet. That's something that normally I would try and do ASAP. Mostly because like it gives you additional units, and I know I'm going to run out of unit space here in a second. Yeah, see, my Phoenix is still alive. Because I'm going to run out of unit space here in a second. And we got a Scorpion Man, we got some priests, we got some catapults, and they haven't even really attacked our main base, and I didn't have much of a like a sea defense other than those 2 towers that he killed with the tornado and a couple ships. But it's good that they didn't, because I probably would have had to build a bunch of mercenaries and wasted all my gold. Oh, I just noticed, hey, I've already did the benefits of drinking water. Well, even better, that just means you should drink more water. It's actually super good for you. So I love building priests because they have such... When they're fighting myth units, I don't know if they get a range advantage, but I love watching those little like beams of light they cast, and just seeing how far they go out, and they will destroy myth units. Like you can visibly see the myth units being destroyed from the priest. Like it's very satisfying. So as per usual, we're assembling our army of axemen and slingers, right? We got champion slingers and we got heavy axemen. And as soon as I get the opportunity, I'll upgrade my axemen even more. But we've got a couple transport boats full of, you know, troops. We've got a little bit of support with the tortoises and the phoenixes. So we don't have a bad army, right? 2 transport ships full of people is not a bad army in the least bit. So we're going to send them out here. And this was my mistake. You see how I secure this area here? I think to myself, okay, this is where I want to drop anchor. This is where I want my guys to land. That was a big mistake. But it's okay. I haven't even taken that settlement either. That's extremely surprising.
Into you.
So this is the backside of the island. And it's not like we have rocks where we can transport people in. Okay, good. I finally decided to take it. It's not like where we have flying rocks where we can transport people in. Right? The only nice thing is my catapults from here can get some pretty decent shots in against their towers as we're walking up. That way, once we actually get inside, their main defense has already been weakened, right? And for some reason, the catapults like to target the low priority. They're attacking campsites, they're attacking docks, they're attacking houses. No. I want towers and walls. Attack towers and walls. So right now, I should be sending back my transport ships. And my Phoenixes are going to get a nice little scout here too. I should be sending back my transport ships to pick up the other people that I have. And luckily, my Phoenixes are going to get a pretty decent scout in. But look, that Pharaoh, it's got so much range on my Phoenixes. I like when the rocks hit the water too. There's a little bit of a splash animation, like, oh, like when you throw a big rock. But with the catapult, it should be an even bigger one. But I'm not going to complain because they added it in there. And it's the little touches, you know? It's the little touches that make the game even better. So, this is a terrible way to attack. Because number one, I'm being attacked from additional town center on the roof, right? On the top that I don't have a lot of reach to other than with my catapults. The good thing is I'm taking out most of their villagers, right? Like, if you don't come this way, like, their villagers would totally be free to just kind of go and continue mining. So I want more vision. So I dropped my undead army in here to defend any potential like reinforcements from coming. There's also a stronghold right there, right? And I can't cast my meteor because I don't have the vision yet, and probably because there's another god power being used. And there we go. Now we can drop the meteor. Which ends up, I don't think the meteor ends up being super effective. It was kind of a rush on me when I shouldn't have done it. I had catapults, right? My catapults could have easily taken out those that stronghold from our position of advantage on the floor. Really, I should have them turn right now, but I'm not upset with them attacking the unit production areas. That's not bad. That's not a bad idea, right? Them attacking a mining town, on the other hand, not a great. So I figure, okay, this battle might be a little bit longer than I initially anticipated. Let me get my guys some upgrades.
Into you. Into you.
And I should be microing my army right now. I was gonna say I'm cringing a little bit that I didn't actually overwatch my army here, especially because I haven't lost the battle over there yet. I know I want to get them reinforcements, but it's important to keep working with what I have, especially because I have a decent chunk of little army over there. And here he comes with his reinforcements, and this is where I start getting in trouble. Because I'm being attacked from where I can't really see, and they outrange me because they're on top of the hill. And I have a bad habit of, rather than returning my units, a lot of the times I build more transport ships when I don't need to. But that little transport ship that you just saw is literally my hero. So here I should be waiting for additional troops. But I'm like, okay, there's not that many of them here. Like, most of them are myth units. I have most of my priests left. Let me try and establish a hard point here. And as I'm doing that, I end up attracting the ire of the majority of the army here. So I want my catapults out of there, because those are the things that take the longest. But apparently I made the decision to try and attack the gate. I think if I had focused them one by, because they were all coming one by one, I think if I had individually targeted them, I may have been okay. But I kind of let my guys fight all sporadically. Watch out for my little transport ship. Get out of there, catapults. My priest can take it. You guys can't. So this transport ship is surrounded by enemy units, right? But he's still able to land and drop his payload. That little transport ship's my hero. So this is the nostalgic gaming channel trick right here. You build right outside the enemy base with unit production centers, right? And then you just spam them with units. So my Phoenixes actually, their sacrifice was not in vain. They did a lot of... Oh, my catapult survived also. They did a lot of good work distracting the main army. I think the main army retreated because my Phoenixes were attacking them, right? So I'm able to regroup, regain my army here, and continue with, and I see, man, there's not that many troops left, right? And there we go. That's what we want.
Where are you hiding, Kemsit?
And with my axemen, right? And then the main army comes. I think to myself, I need the second round of reinforcements here. And I gotta protect my little transport ship. And catapults are pretty good against ships, so long as the ships aren't really moving around, because they can miss pretty easily. But other than that, the catapults are pretty decent against the ships. And these slingers will buy me enough time to prevent him from attacking my my buildings. And this is it, boys. It's time for battle. This is where the boys are separated from the men. And I actually messed up and I made a Sphinx, but it's okay. The Sphinx are pretty tanky boys. And here comes our last set of reinforcements. And it's actually taking a good amount of damage. Come on, little transport ship, run! Oh, I made the mistake of running it right into the Leviathan. That's kind of sad. RIP. Thank you, little rock star, for everything that you did. Rest in peace. So, now we're going to continue our inevitable onslaught into the enemy, right? And at this point, like, we're more or less about to win. Unless the enemy pulls out something ridiculous. I've already seen the majority of their forces, and I know my forces are larger than theirs. And we have constant reinforcements where they probably don't have much because we destroyed all the resource production centers, right? They don't have any more gold mining, I don't think. So we make our final push, right? And we haven't even used our Eclipse yet. I'm surprised. I hate wasting the God Powers by not using the ones that they've given us, right? So I'm assuming I'll probably throw it on here in a minute or not. Even though I only have a couple Stinger men or Scorpion men, it's still better than not. Plus it's kind of cool when you turn the Eclipse on, like all the lights go off and like the ominous music plays.
Into you.
And we
Go.
make our final push in with our massive army, right? We've already destroyed the Stronghold. We've already destroyed the city centers.
Now, where is my enemy?
And that's it, boys. We'll get a little cutscene here, but thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Nostalgic Gaming channel. I appreciate all your guys' time. I know you could watch anything, but you choose to watch me, and I appreciate
I
that.
have
Thank you guys so
something I've
much.
been meaning to give you since you first ran from me at the temple, Kemsit.
I'd like nothing better than to drain your blood into the sand, Amanra. But I cannot waste time with you now.
Coward.
Your time will come, Amanra. Soon.
And that's it, boys. We are victorious, and we move on to the next mission. Thank you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.